Hi guys, and welcome back to another video.
See me in the spotlight. 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 Spotlight, 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 spotlight. Give it to me, I'm worth it.
So basically today's video is going to be a little different. I usually post like family vlogs, you know, the norm. But I wanted to stop in and talk about a situation that is pretty much going on within, well, what I've been noticing within the Black community more as far as postpartum depression and mental health issues. So I just wanted to give you guys first a background on myself and about my experience on postpartum depression and everything that I went through. And then if you guys can relate, you can leave a comment in the comment section and let me know if you guys have had similar issues or you dealt with similar things that I dealt with. So first of all, I am a mom of 3. I first realized that I was experiencing postpartum depression after I had my first son in 2013. How I realized is that, okay, we left the hospital. Me and my husband was on the way going home. So I was just sitting in the back seat, and out of nowhere, I just started crying. I thought that I was actually crying because of the great service that they gave me while I was at the hospital, which they did give me great service. So I felt like something was actually missing. So I was just like, why am I crying? Like, I just cried out the blue. And my husband was looking at me like, what's wrong with you? And we tried to go out to lunch. After we had, the next day we went out to lunch. And then I realized I started crying again. And I couldn't figure out why. So that's when I did my research and I Googled it and everything. And I realized that I was experiencing baby blues. So if you guys don't know what the baby blues is, it's basically I would say that it's just like depression, postpartum depression. Like, you're just sad for no apparent reason. You just crying, and some people, they have it so bad that they can't even deal with their kids. But mine's wasn't that bad to that extent. But at times I felt like something was just missing. I don't know if it was the belly. I don't know if it was the attention that I got when I was pregnant. Everybody was so nice and helpful. I don't know what it was, but I just remember I was just feeling sad. So this message is going to be for people who have friends or family members that just had baby or are about to have babies. Make sure that you check on your friends and your family members to make sure that they are doing okay, because a lot of this, it doesn't seem like it's really talked about a lot. And that's why I wanted to come on here and make this video, because it doesn't seem like people really talk about it a lot. I don't know if people are ashamed or people, they just don't want to look crazy or something like that. But you're not looking crazy, and I wouldn't be ashamed of it, because it's something that a lot of people are experiencing, but no one is brave enough to pretty much talk about it. So how I actually started to get over it with my first son, I just used to cry every day. I think I cried every day or almost every day for about 6 to 7 months. And then I started just getting out, because at that time I wasn't really around anyone that I could talk to about it besides my husband. And I would mention it to sometimes my sister or something like that. I would just say dang, I just feel sad, but I couldn't figure out why I felt sad. And then when I had my second daughter, I had actually moved to another city So when I moved to another city, it was like kind of worse because I didn't really have anyone like to talk to besides the hubs again, because I was away from everybody. I did talk to my friends occasionally, but some of them didn't go through it, so they didn't understand like what I was talking about. And then when I had baby Z, I started feeling the same exact way again. Like that sad feeling again. But this time I had other moms that were around me that I was able to like hang out with, who were pretty much going through the same thing that I was going through, and we were able to relate and share our stories and stuff like that. So we started doing like little lunch dates. I started taking like walks and stuff like that, just to like get out of the house, because I think what makes it worse is like when you just sit in there and you have nobody to talk to. Like you have nobody to talk to at all, and it's like you just there, like you're just going through it by yourself. And like some people, they can like deal with it by themselves, but I feel like it makes it worse because you don't know that you are not alone. Like you some people just feel like they are alone. Some people even get to the point that they want to hurt themselves or their kids. So I think that it's always best to like go out and like talk to other people, talk to other mommies in your area who are just like you, or other family members. Try to find out if anybody else has experienced it. So like with Baby Z now, I had other people that weren't even like that close to me as far as like clients, because I was doing hair when I was pregnant with Baby Z. So I worked in the salon. So basically the people that checked up on me were people that I weren't even that close with. So for like those people to like do that for me, like I really appreciated that, because I'm like, they know what I'm going through, and like we can like basically relate to each other. So for those people to like reach out to me, I had a few people reach out to me on Instagram, and we would like talk about it and stuff like that, because they knew. And then vice versa, when I knew that they were having a kid, or I knew that they had just had a kid, since they did do that for me, I reached back out to see like how they were doing, because I know that they told me in the past that they experienced similar situations. So I will say that this message is for mommies, or soon to be mommies, or people who have like raised kids before, because I can't say that you can like get advice from like people who don't even have kids, because they can't really relate when it comes to this situation. I don't know if it's something with the hormones when you're pregnant, or I don't know if it's like something that they're giving us in the prenatal vitamins. I just don't know. Like it's something with like a separation anxiety almost that we are dealing with, that a lot of people just don't realize that they're dealing with it. So I feel like if you want to like help yourself, like go out and like try to find something to do that eases your mind off it, whether it's just taking a walk, taking your kids to the park. Hold on. So I had to step away for a second. So like I was saying, being a mom, like it comes with like a lot of challenges, and postpartum depression is really one of them. Like you don't, like some people, it gets so bad that they have to take medication to actually like get over it, because it's like you feel like you might be going crazy, and you feel like you know that there's something wrong, and you know that you love your kids or whatever, but it's just something that's making you feel sad, or like just like depressed. Like I felt like I just wanted to like be alone too. Like I didn't want to like really be anybody. I felt like I was just better like alone, not being around people, not talking to people, just doing like my own little thing. But then I realized like it was just getting worse, like just sitting there and being alone by yourself. So it's always good to go out there, like I said, and chat with other moms or other friends that can relate to you as far as this situation goes. Like postpartum depression, I don't think that it has an age on it. Like, you can be as young as 18 and you might be going through the same exact thing. You can be 50 and probably going through the same exact thing. Like, some people just say, like, they used to tell me, like, oh, like, just suck it up. Like you just being, like, basically, like, you just acting like a spoiled brat, like I'm a kid or something. Like, I know I wasn't acting like a spoiled brat, and I know that it was something that was really going on with me, and I know that I wasn't going crazy like I thought I was at first. But I just want to say, like, don't give up, and if you need the help, go out and get the help. A lot of my friends, like, and family, they will tell you, like, when I had my kids, I never wanted the help at all. I never wanted anyone to, like, watch my kids. I was always like that mom, like, very overprotective. Like, I still am now. Like, I don't allow my kids to go a lot of places like that unless they're with me or, like, the hubs. Sometimes, like, the aunties or something like that, but not for too long. Like, I never let my kids out of my eyesight and stuff like that because I feel like they are only, like, safe with me. And, like, I feel like I'm the only one that knows what my kids want and knows what my kids need. So I was that mom that never wanted to help. Like, I just wanted to do everything by myself. I don't care how long or how many days or how many years it took me to do something. Like, I just wanted them to get help from me and just be with me alone, basically. And I never like to listen to what people had to say, but then I realized, like, as I got older, that you need the help sometimes. Like, you need that break. Like, you can be super mom all the time, because I consider myself like a super mom all the time. But now, as a kid starting to get older, like, I see that, hey, like, I need this break. Like, everybody needs a little break. Like, I'm like, some days, like, girl, like, I talked to my daughter, like, girl, you talking a little bit too much now. Like, you talking too much. Like, when you were a little younger, you weren't talking as much. But now it's like, girl, you talking my ear off. You talking too much right now. Or my son or the baby or something like that. Like, it's like, now I really see that as they getting older that I need, like, my little mommy breaks every now and then. Even if you take, like, a little 10-minute break to go outside by yourself and go just take a walk. Just something that you can do by yourself for, like, a few minutes, even when the baby is sleeping. Like, go watch your favorite movie. Go, like, cook you something that you like. Like, go do stuff that you like. I think that will help, like, get over, like, these type of situations, too. Just go do stuff that you like, even if it's as little as 5 minutes. As long as you can just do something that usually makes you happy or that will make you happy, I think that would be, like, a great idea. So I think what inspired me to make this video today is that I saw a young lady here on YouTube that, which I was just thinking about it. Like, when I was in the shower today, I was just thinking about it. I was like, when I was growing up or when I was going through this situation, like, I had no one that told me what to expect after having kids, as far as, like, being a mom or being a stay-at-home mom. Like, I never had anyone that went through the same things that I went through. So if I'm able to be of service and of help to someone, I think that is a great thing, because a lot of people don't know how to deal with it because, like I said before, they don't have anyone to talk to or who's been in that situation, or they're just afraid to, like, ask for help, or they're embarrassed that people might think that they're crazy. But you're not, and I just want you to know that things will eventually get better. And as far as being, like, a stay-at-home mom, like, it's definitely not for the weak, because you have so much responsibility. Not only do you have to make sure your spouse is straight, you still have to make sure that your kids are good. You got to cook dinner. You got to clean. You have to maintain the bills. Like, I thought, like, growing up, when I used to see, like, people, like, staying home, I thought that it was like, hey, like, these are, like, rich people and they get to just stay home and do nothing, like, watch TV, like, shop and do all that stuff all day, just sit there, like, go out to eat, do simple stuff like that. That's what I thought a stay-at-home mom was, but it's actually, like, a big job, especially if you have a kid at home like me. So it's like, I'm a daycare teacher, I'm a teacher, I'm a mom, I'm the chef, I'm the housekeeper, I'm the housewife. I'm the maid. I feel like I'm just like everything, being a stay-at-home mom. And then with the other two kids at school, it's like I get like a little mini break in between time. I only have to deal with like one kid, and then when all the other kids come home, it's like I'm a full-time mom, teacher. I have to help them with their homework, cook them dinner, make sure they take a bath, do their hair, make sure they brush their teeth, make sure they do a lot of stuff. Like it's a lot. Like I didn't think that being a stay-at-home mom was so like easy. So if you guys are out there, you guys are wanting to be a stay-at-home mom, it is great because you get to enjoy more time with your kids and get to save money on like daycare and stuff like that. You get to like actually see your kid grow up. That's what I like about it. I get to see my kids grow up. I get to see them like every day. Like it's like I know like what's going on with my kid because I'm the one that's watching them 24/7 until they go to like the big school. So that's like the bonus about being a stay-at-home mom. And then plus, like, I was going to say you don't have to wake up early, but you do have to wake up early. If you have big kids like me, I have to get them up, make sure they brush their teeth and stuff, and send them off to school. So that is like really like my biggest part. And then cleaning after the kids. That's pretty much it. So yeah, I think it does get easier as they get older a little bit, as far as they can like help you out with stuff. They can help you out with like the younger siblings and stuff. But my thing with that is that I don't want to put that responsibility on my younger kids to help me out with the younger kids. I mean, like if they want to like take their little sibling to go watch TV with them or something, if they want to do it, then that's fine. But I'm not going to like make it mandatory that they do anything, because at the end of the day, those are my kids. So that's just my opinion on it. And I still want my kids to be kids. Like when I was growing up, I was a kid. I want my kids to still be kids. I don't want my kids to be kids raising their siblings or raising kids when they're kids. Like I want them to actually enjoy their childhood. So like I said, easy things for you that you can do with your kids is like take them to the park, let them run wild. Like when me and like baby Z were here by ourselves, like right now we're in the room watching TV. I can just lock the door if I don't want him to go downstairs and just let him do whatever in the room. And then I can do whatever I want to do at the same time until he falls asleep. I just have to make sure that he's not in anything that's like dangerous or anything, but just let the kids run wild. Let them do whatever they want in the room. Let them just be free. Like I try to do a lot of like I don't really discipline my kids, but I try to give a lot of positive reinforcement, or I just yell. Like my main thing is how I discipline them. I just mostly yell at them. I don't really like to discipline them too much, even though sometimes I think that they deserve it or they need to be. But I try to just talk to my kids. Me and the husband talks to the kids, but sometimes I can just take stuff away. If they're not listening, then I'll just take it away from them. But for the most part, I think all I do is like yell, and like I think that scares them a little bit. So another topic that I wanted to talk about is being a wife and what it's like being a wife and what to expect, what it's like and all that good stuff. So basically, me and the hubs, we've been together since 2008. So we've been together since 2008. So we got married in 2018, like right before we bought our first house, we got married. So this year we will be 5 years married. All together, we'll be together for about 14, 15 years. And like the only thing that I think that changed since we've been dating and throughout the whole process is that we've gotten older, of course. We met when I was like 19 and he was probably like about 20. And the kids came along, and yeah, like I said, we just got older and the kids came along. So basically, like anything that I'm lacking, like he's going to get me in line and like help me see like the clear picture of like what he think I can work on and what I think that he can work on. So pretty much we come together like that. And For the most part, if I had to compare it, like, and give it a number, like, out of 100, I would have to say that I think my marriage is at, like, a 90, like, to be honest. Like, I honestly feel like we connect well, and it actually feels like when we first met, like, it still feels the same. I feel like that's, like, my best friend or something like that. Like, that's my best friend. Like, I have a girl best friend, but this is, like, my male best friend. I could talk to him pretty much about, like, anything and vice versa. He got my back, I got his back. And, like, the good thing that I like about my marriage is that we are able to communicate when there are differences, or if he feels that something should be a certain way and I don't, then he tried to help me come to the conclusion, or I try to help him come to the conclusion why I think that my way or his way is better. So that's the way that we communicate. And then also, he's like an awesome dad to the kids, like awesome. Like, growing up, I said that, like, I had a dad, and, like, my dad was there, like, here and there, but I just wish that I had a dad like how my kids have a dad. Like, that's the kind of dad that I wanted. Like, I wanted a dad like him. Like, he's like that dad that, like, supports his kids, that talk to his kids, that, like, gives them, like, that background on, like, how he grew up. Like, he wants his kids to be well involved on where he grew up and stuff, that, like, to get to know him. And, like, that's the cool dad. Like, that's the cool dad. And, like, what I love about him is that every time that we are around other kids or anything, like, everybody always navigates to him. Like, that's that cool dad that everybody wants. Like, that's the dad that he is. So that's what I love about him. He's an awesome dad. He's a great husband. Like, right now, I have been a stay-at-home mom since I had baby Z. So that's been since 2020. Actually, like, before that, I was also a stay-at-home mom. I felt like me, like, going back to work, that was just me, like, helping my partner out and being, like, there. Like, if he needed anything, or if he had a birthday coming up or something, I always felt like I don't want to use his money to buy him something. Like, that's not really a gift. Or, like, if I want to go, like, surprise him with a nice little dinner date or something like that, or, like, some nice dinner, and I wanted to just buy it out of my own money, that was just like a little small token of appreciation that I wanted to do with my little own money. So that's how we make things work, and I love it. And I went back to being a stay-at-home mom in 2020. We're in 2023, so it's going on 3 years now that I've been a stay-at-home mom again. And he pretty much does everything, so I don't have to really do much besides, like, you know, keep your husband together and make sure you cook, clean, etc., do all that stuff, like help out with the business and all that stuff like that. So it's like pretty much that's how it's going in my marriage. And I love being married. Like, before I got married, like, I used to hear, like, stories like, oh, like, when we were just dating, like, people used to try to make me feel bad if I wasn't married. Like, they used to try to make me feel like, oh, like you going to hell, like, if you doing what you're not supposed to do, having kids and all that stuff, and you aren't married. So basically, the only kid that came out of the marriage was baby Z, and the other ones, they were before marriage. So it's like people used to try to make me feel bad that I wasn't married, but I felt like whenever we were ready to, like, take that big step and go out and be grown and get married, then that's when it would happen. And that's what happened. So the day that we got married, I was like, actually, like, dang, like, I'm married now. Like, I was actually, like, scared. Like, I felt like I was, like, really grown now. I was like, ooh, like, I'm scared. Like, I don't know what to expect. But for the most part, it's been great. And I know everybody has, like, some bad things that go on in their marriage, but for the most part, I've been thankful that we didn't have to really deal with those type of situations. And now what I think is that since he's, like, a truck driver now, he's over the road now, it's like that's actually helping to build our relationship more, because in a relationship, especially a marriage, you do need some time away to, like, miss your spouse or miss your partner. You need time to like miss them, and like when you see them again, you like, dang, like I miss you. I miss you. And like that's what's going on in my situation. So it's like if y'all see like my vlog sometimes and Super P is not in the video, it's because maybe like he's gotten home or something and he's just tired. So it's like I'm not gonna always like post my husband all the time, but when he does feel like being in the video, I don't try to like pressure it too much. I will put him in the video if he feels like doing it that day. But for the most part, marriage is great over here. So the only advice I can give somebody about a marriage is, number one, like now I get it. When they used to say back then, like, once you get married, keep, like, single people or who don't want to be married out of your marriage. I understand that message now. Like, I understand it because people who aren't married or who used to be married and stuff like that, I think that they are kind of, like, downplaying or, like, talking bad about marriage. Like, I would never get married. I would never do this. I would never get married again. I would never do that. I would never do this. But everybody has their own experience. Like, everybody should at least try it. If you think that it's not for you, then it's not for you. But for the most part, I love being married. And I think that it's going like by so fast that we just having fun while we're in it. So, let me see what advice I can give somebody. So, yeah, just keep people, like basically single people, just keep them out of your business. If you have something that's bothering you, like whenever I have a situation, I usually just talk to my best friend because we're both married. So we usually just converse and like talk about whatever we want to talk about with each other. If we have something that we want to talk about that has something to do with like marriage or like a relationship or something like that, and we usually just converse with each other, or I just talk to my husband. Like I just talk to him about whatever, and everything that I've been doing has been working. And make time for your spouse. Like make time, like basically when he comes home, like my family, I know they get mad at me sometimes, but I try to make it all about my husband, because like if he's gone for like a day and I don't see him for a day, then when I see him the next day, it's like so much I have to talk to him about, or it's something that I want to like do with him, like, and I just wanted to just be us. Like I'm not trying to be like mean or like I think that I'm better than somebody because I don't answer my phone when he's home or something like that. It's just that I just want to give him all that attention because I missed him. Like I haven't seen him, and then vice versa. If it was like somebody else in the same situation as me, they would want to do the same thing. Like I just give him that attention when he's home, and I think that's what makes our marriage work too. So it's like, yeah, just keep people out your business, basically. Like keep people out your business who don't really value what you have going on, basically. And yeah, marriage is, like I said, it's not for the weak. So just because like you can see somebody else's situation and their marriage is going good, somebody else's marriage is going bad. Like everybody has their own things that they deal with within a marriage. Everybody's situation won't be like my situation. Mine won't be like yours, and vice versa. So everybody has different stuff in their marriage that they are dealing with or going to be dealing with. So it's like, don't get married for the wrong reasons. Don't get married because like, oh, like back then, like before we got married, I think everybody was just getting married just to get married, like just for the hype, just to say like, oh, I'm married. And then when they got married, then people started getting divorced because it's like, I felt like people were just doing it just to do it, or just to say like, oh, I'm married, but not willing to like really stick it out. So don't try to like say like, oh, I'm gonna get married because he bought me this or he gave me this. Like that's not even a real reason. And like I felt like the time that me and my husband waited to get married, I felt like it was like that was the time when it was time for us to get married. I felt like that was the right time. And my reason was I love this man. We have a family. I can see myself spending the rest of my life with this man. I can learn from this man. I can grow with this man. I can help this man. I can just be there for this man. Like I can be this man's wife. Like those were like my reason. I didn't have to be like this fancy, technical, super educated wife. Like of just norm. Like went to college, just a normal wife. Like I didn't have to be like this. You know how like just some wives are like just like that. Like I don't, it's kind of hard to explain, but I can just be me. I just wanted somebody who I can just be me with and grow old with. You get what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Like I did want to get married a little earlier. I was like, okay, like we ain't gonna give me a ring now. Like okay, like I'm waiting, but then eventually it just happened. So I would say like don't rush. Like if you feel like you're not ready yet, or you feel like you're doing it for the wrong reasons, or you feel like you're not really going to be serious about that person, because as you get older, things are going to start changing. Looks are going to start changing. You're going to gain some weight. You're going to lose some weight. It's just different stuff is going to change. Some people might get sick. Some are going to be willing to stick it out and like do all that stuff, like to be there for your spouse and all that stuff as they get older. So basically having that unconditional love for your spouse and vice versa is very important. You got to think about all that stuff. Take all that stuff in consideration before you say like, hey, like I'm going to get married. Like what's the reason behind it? Like don't let it be a petty reason that you may later regret because you weren't ready. So that's pretty much all that I want to really talk about today. Just those 3 issues. So postpartum, stay-at-home mom, and wife. What it's like to be a wife. So one more thing that I want to talk about being a wife. So like I said, it's pretty much like the same role as being a stay-at-home mom. You handle everything behind the scenes. Since my husband is on or gone, majority of the time I handle everything behind the scenes because I'm the head lady of the house. So it can be easy. It can be easy, but it just depends on how you get things done and what type of person you are. And I don't want anybody to think that I'm misconstruing anything, because I just want to throw it out there that I'm not saying that I'm perfect or anything, or that my marriage is just like the perfect marriage out there. And that, I just want to throw it out there that everybody has issues. Everybody has ups and downs. But like I said, for the most part, it's good over here. And I just want to like clear that up just in case if it's any like, anything or anything. I just want to throw that out there. Being in a marriage is almost like, like when you're growing up and like your mom or your dad tell you like to do certain stuff and you like, man, I don't feel like doing it right now. I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing that. It's like your marriage, that is your partner. So it's like if your partner says like, hey, like I need you to go to the store and get this for me right quick, then even if you don't feel like it, I think if that is the provider of your house, since I don't work, I do hair occasionally. Whenever I do get clients, since he is the head of the house, if he asks me to do something, then I go do it for the most part, even if I don't feel like doing it. So basically, like in a marriage, it's going to be certain things that you aren't going to feel like doing, that you just got to like suck it up and be like, all right, let me just go. Like, especially if you're not paying no bills, go. Like, whatever I need for the most part, he gives it to me. So I feel like whatever he needs, if I can provide it, then I try like go do my best and do what I got to do. But it is time for me to head out, and I enjoyed chatting with you guys. If you guys want to see more videos like this, or you guys have any other topics that you guys would want to talk about, leave it in the comment section. Share this video out. Share it with your friends, your fam, anybody you think that may that this video may cheer them up, to let them know that they're not alone. Just share it out with everybody. Say what's up to the vlog, baby Z. Hey. Yeah. So yeah, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.